Alright, so quick check. Everybody can hear me okay? See me okay? Not that I look great, but is the board visible to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And in between you'll keep hearing dad jokes, bear with me. So what are we going to learn today? And this is SAT class where, hey Chris, yep, love it. So when I say SAT class, meaning this is the class for all the kids from 9th grade all the way to 11th. And this is where all of you are. Hello. Good to have you in the class. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So welcome Thanu and Purvi one more time. So this is our first class. So like what I mentioned, let's focus on what we want to learn. And as a curriculum of this class, what are the things that we focus on? We call it SAT prep class, right? Where we prepare for SAT. SAT syllabus, if you look at it, it's a summary or it's a joint syllabus for 9th, 10th and 11th grade. Whatever you guys learn in 9th, 10th and 11th grade, that is what gets asked in SAT. So that's why we have kids from all the 3 grades in this class. And when we do SAT preparation, we are eventually learning what we need to learn for our grades. At the same time, we are getting ready for that golden exam that you all are going to come across. Yep. Okay, so there are 13 units as part of this, which covers the entire syllabus for SAT and covers the syllabus for you guys. While I'm following all these 13 units one by one, we'll learn the concepts, practice some problems, but in between, if any of you have certain doubt on certain topics, let me know one day in advance and we'll cover that topic also, breaking my flow. Okay. All right. So let's get started. What are we going to learn today? Let me read the topics for you guys like what I had mentioned. So that way there is nothing that will be outside the syllabus. Let me read it for you guys. So we are going to primarily focus on the unit which is around polynomial operations and then operation with rational expressions. Yeah, polynomial operations, dealing with polynomial expressions and then operation with rational expressions. So let's start with polynomial expressions. So what is our understanding of polynomial expression in the first place? Give me the simplest possible thing that comes to your mind. Anybody?
More than one monomial.
More than one monomial, okay.
Like 4 terms.
Okay. What about you, Pranit? Go ahead.
Anything that has more than one term.
Okay. So, yeah. Anybody else has any extra thought to add? Danvin, Chris, Om? No?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Ria. Go ahead, Ria. You're saying something. No? Okay. Polynomial expression. Let me decode it and make it as stupid as it could be. We are talking about polynomial expression. Yep. Polynomial has a meaning to it. Expression has a meaning to it. So when you say polynomial, let's look at some example first. If I'm talking about 4x squared plus 7x plus 9 equal to 0 versus 4x squared plus 7x plus 9. What is the difference between these two? Tansi, you saying something?
No.
4x squared, yeah. Yeah, Pranit, go ahead.
The first one is an equation, the second one's an expression.
Second one is an expression. So when you have an equal to sign, meaning when you have certain things that you are doing and then you get an outcome denoted by the equal to sign. When you have an equal to sign, this becomes an equation. You have an equal to sign. When you don't have an equal to sign, that's called an expression. Now I will give my most horrendous example of difference between equation and expression. Now if I come to the class, if I just keep smiling the whole class, that is just an expression. Okay, what is that you will learn out of it? Nothing. Meaning there is no outcome. When you just see me smile, you are just observing my expression. There is no outcome. I am not teaching you guys. I just came, wasted 1 hour of your time, smiled, gave expression and disappeared. No outcome, expression. When you have an outcome, that's an equation. Okay, that's the difference. Alright, now when you look at, now we are going back to our premise of what we wanted to cover. So this is an expression. So we have found out what is expression very clearly. No doubt about it. Next time when you hear the term expression, you will know that you have a smiling teacher doing nothing. No outcome. So expression part is understood in the simplest possible way. Now we are looking what is polynomial. Here, everything that you see separated by the operands, plus or minus, those are called terms. So here in this expression you have 1 term, 2 term and 3 term because they are separated by the plus sign. If I have 4x square only, this is a monomial, it has only 1 term. It is one expression which has only 1 term. Okay. When you have plus 8, let's say, then you have 2 terms. This is what is called binomial. Okay. When you have more and more terms getting added, this has 3 terms now. So anything which is more than one is, the acronym used is poly. So when you have an expression with more than 1 term, that is what is called a polynomial. So when you look at polynomial expression, the simple thing that should come to your mind is, I'm talking about an expression which has more than 1 term. Is that a simple definition of a polynomial expression?
Yeah.
Everybody? Tanu, Ria, Praneeth, Chris, Danvin,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Shiv, Varun, everybody okay? So when it comes to understanding polynomial expression, it's a very simple thing. It's an expression without any outcome and has more than 1 term. As simple as that. If I ever say 5x square, you will say this is not a polynomial expression because you have only 1 term. There is no plus or minus sign. And you will only count this plus and minus sign for counting the number of terms. Here if you look at 5x squared, you will not say, okay, 5 into x squared, 2 terms, because it's separated by this multiplication sign. No. You don't count multiplication division as the separator for terms. You only use plus or minus. They are the only 2 separators that you will ever consider. Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we have at least a ground to relate to what is a polynomial expression. We are talking about what are different types of operations that we can do with polynomial expression. Let's look at it. If I say 7x plus 9 multiplied by 15x plus 10y. What I'm trying to achieve here, look at this thing inside the bracket, this is one expression. And look at this thing in this bracket, that is second expression. What we are trying to do is, we are trying to multiply 2 polynomials or 2 polynomial expressions. Do you guys know how to do this? Does everybody in the class know very clearly how to do it? Om, Thanu, Purvi, Varun. And what makes me more happy is when you say no, I don't. because that becomes an opportunity for me. This is something that I should teach. If you guys know everything, what would I do? I become pretty much jobless. So, do I have an opportunity to teach something? Okay, fine. Let me not keep cracking bad jokes. Can you guys quickly multiply this and tell me what the answer would be? You guys have 2 minutes. Let's do it like fun.
Can you move so I can see the first one?
I will read it for you guys. 7x plus 9 multiplied by 15x plus 10y.
Alright, got it. Thank you.
Shiv, Tansi, Tanu, Purvi, everybody trying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Om, Chris, Dhanvin,
Yeah.
Dhanushri, everybody. Get your hands dirty, okay? Because by the time I finish the class, my hands are super dirty, okay? I want you guys to be on the same boat. Yes, Pranit.
I got the answer.
Tell me what it is.
105x squared plus 135x plus 70xy
70
70xy
XY.
plus 90y, sorry.
Okay. Anybody who wants to contest and say this is a different, you have a different answer?
I got the same.
Same answer? Bad news. Okay. Om, Tanu, Purvi, anybody? Somebody has to prove Praneeth and Dhanvin wrong. If you have a chance. How about you, Ria? Tansi, tell
I
me.
got the answer.
You got the same answer? Another bad news. Ria, not upset with your teacher, right? Not saying anything? Okay. Okay. So I have more. Yeah, go ahead, beta. You were not saying anything.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. The Wi-Fi is like kind of bad.
Okay. But did you get the question, beta?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Still working on it.
Okay, so let's do one thing. I have a couple of standard questions for you. This is a question that I made up, but I have picked some standard questions that you guys will come across. So we'll just do a jump start with this question. So how you guys would have solved. Again, same approach. Whatever you have, I mean, not the same approach. The approach is this. You can pick this as a base and multiply it with every element here of this expression, or you can pick this as a base and multiply with every element here. Any which way is okay. So let's say if I'm picking this as a base, because I read from this side to this side, I'm picking this as a base, what that would mean is this will become 7x multiplied by this whole thing, and then I have a plus 9 multiplied by this whole thing. And then when you explode it, whatever you get is what will be the answer that most of you told me, right? So this 7x, so basically it's like if you have something into something, look at what are different elements and pick one element, multiply with everything, pick the second element, multiply with everything, and that is what will get you the answer. It's as good as if somebody says, okay, 105 into 7. You can say, okay, it's like 100 into 7 plus 5 into 7. That's how it is, right? So 105 is the same thing. 100 plus 5 becomes 105 into 7. So you'll multiply 7 with 100 and then 7 with 5. That's exactly what we are doing here also, correct? So your basic approach doesn't change, it remains the same, just that the numbers of the problem might look different. So let's do it quickly. 7x into 15x, 7 into 15 is 105, x into x becomes x squared, plus 7x into 10y, so 7 into 10, 70. You never deal with apples and oranges together. You multiply numbers with number, x with x, y with y. Since you did not have x here, x remains as x, y remains as y. You could only multiply 10 and 7. Same way, 9 into 15x, 15 times 9, 135 into x, and then 9 into 10 becomes 90y. So you would have got the same answer. So I'm not dragging this further. Let's look at some standard problems and we'll apply the magic formula that I was talking about in the beginning. RAN. Read, analyze, and then do it. Okay? And stand for Nike at home if you did not hear me before. This is my magic wand that I use or enforce, or we try practicing that in the class. Okay, so let me pick up one problem that I picked up from one of the, okay. All right, one of the question I have is this. 1 by 88 y to the power 100 plus 1 minus 1 by 44 y to the power 100 minus 1 by 2 equals what? And we have 4 options, but I'm not going to give you guys the options right now just to save time. I have this problem. So this is one polynomial expression, this is another polynomial expression. What we are trying to do? Subtract one polynomial expression from another polynomial expression. Can you guys do it real quick and tell me what the answer would be?
What's the second term again?
So 1 by 88 y to the power 100 plus 1 bracket minus 1 by 44 y to the power 100 minus 1 by 2. So the goal is to solve this and always look at how are you going to simplify things also. So we talked, I was explaining about the multiplication part of it. It's like polynomial addition. And again, it's more like a quick check with respect to what we know and what we need to know as part of the exam. So it might look very easy to some of you. Don't take it emotionally, okay? Just try solving it to get your hands dirty. We'll come to some more interesting problems. Can I assume everybody is trying? Tansi, Purvi,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shiv, okay. Praneeth. Thanu and Purvi, Om dropped off, but Thanu and Purvi, is this flow okay for you guys, or I'm speaking way too fast?
No, it's fine.
It's fine?
Yes,
Okay, okay. Now, and don't be shy when it comes to giving candid feedback, okay? Because that's the only way I can be more effective when it comes to teaching you guys. Okay, so like I said, I know I'm not giving you guys a lot of time to think because we want to get our hands dirty with more and more problems. Oh, are you back?
Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected.
No worries. So, as I mentioned, this is going to be our thumb rule for solving each and every mathematical problem that we'll come across hereafter. So, meaning read the question couple of times and then analyze. So I don't want you guys to solve this problem right now. Tell me the approach. Okay, let's see what Shiv has to say. Yes, Shiv, go ahead.
Sir, here it says that. So what I did was 188 y raised to the power of 100 and 144 y raised to the power of 100. They are both the same power, which means they can both be what you call taken together. So my process was 188 minus 144 because there is what you call a minus sign before the parentheses. So it will also be minus. So 188 minus 144. So 144 becomes 288 because 44 is half of 88. So 188 minus 288 would become minus 188, which would, so it's minus, so I got minus 188 y raised to the power of 100 and then plus 1 half because of the remaining 1 and minus 1 half. So 1 minus 1 half is 1 half. So I got negative 188 y 100 plus 1 half.
I wish I had a teacher like you when I was small. I would have been a better student then. Very well explained, beta. Okay. All right. So again, what I was saying was that I don't want you guys to go to this stage. This stage is the easiest of all the steps when it comes to solving a problem. If we are doing our job right at this stage and this stage, this will be by default right. So again, this might look like a very tiny problem, and the way Shiv explained that, it makes it look even easier. But if I'm trying to solve this my way, always, I'll read this question a couple of times. See, okay, what I have is 1 by 88 y to the power 100 minus, this is 1 by 44 y to the power 100. So basically this term and this term are similar. This term and this term are similar. So when I have to do any operation, I will deal with 1 and minus 1 here, this part together, and this part and this part together, because I have the variables power matching in this case. So like what Shiv explained, I will take this and this together and do whatever I have to do. Then I'll take this number and this together, and then we'll do whatever we have to do. So it's like dealing with apples and oranges. If I have 5x plus 2y minus 3x, these are my apples. I will deal with them together, and this is my oranges. I will only deal with these two things together. X and y will never get added together. They will remain as separate entity, right? So same way, like, so here from approach point of view also, when you read this question, you will see, okay, fine. This is one part, this is another part. They will be dealt together. This part and this part are similar. They will be dealt together, and then you can do rest of the magic. Is everybody okay with whatever we discussed so far?
Yes.
Yeah? Omkar, Dhanvin?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Riya, Thanu, Purvi. Are you guys getting bored or feeling sleepy because of my teaching? Anybody feeling sleepy because of me? No?
Sir.
Okay, that's good. Let's move on. Let's pick one more problem. And this time, I will give you guys a little bit of a word problem. This one says, which of the following expression is equivalent to 7k minus the product of k plus 1 and 2k plus 2? I'm reading the question one more time. Hear me out clearly, okay? Which of the following expressions is equivalent to 7k minus the product of k plus 1 and 2k plus 2? And here are the options. Minus 2k square plus 3k minus 2. 5k square plus 3k minus 2. 6k square plus 10k plus 2. 12k square plus 10k plus 2. So I'm reading the question one more time. I've just given you 4 options, okay? A, B, C, D. This is your MCQ that you will deal with if this question comes for you or similar question comes for you in the exam. And the first line of the question says, which of the following expressions is equivalent to 7k minus the product of k plus 1 and 2k plus 2? If anybody in the class wants to say that, sir, you said that you want us to get tired of reading, read it again and again, and you have not told it enough. If you want me to read it one more time, let me know. Otherwise, I'm assuming everybody heard me right. Did everybody hear me right? Ria, Tanu, Purbi?
Did you say k plus 1 times 2k plus 2?
Yes. I said, let me read one more time. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to 7k minus the product of k plus 1 and 2k plus 2? 7k minus product of k plus 1 and 2k plus 2. And there are a lot of interesting tricks that we will talk about. I will let you guys first deal with it for next 2-3 minutes only.
Sir, can you say that again? I don't know why, I just can't get it. It's like, can you just repeat like the thing after the minus? 7k minus what plus?
Okay, so I will say very slowly, pay attention to what I am saying. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to 7k minus the product of k plus 1 and 2k plus 2? Was it clear this time? Yes, Pranit.
Yes, I finally got it.
Yeah, Pranit.
I got A.
You got A. Okay, let's see. And we'll talk about some tricks, okay? Let's see. I'll wait for 2 more answers at least. Yes, Tansi.
I got A2.
You got A2, okay. Ria, Dhanvin, Varun. Varun has been very quiet today. What happened, Varun?
Nothing, sir. I'm just sick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same.
Same. Oh, okay. Sick of illness, not sick of me, correct?
Just sick of.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, that will be the last thing to do. If that happens, then I have a problem to deal with. Okay. Purvi and Thanu. I have a habit of bothering the new kids more.
No, you're good.
Okay.
It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Om. I want to hear you guys more.
Yeah, I got A.
You got A too. Okay. Pranit, you might want to put your hands down so that I would know if any new answer I'm going to get. Okay. So I got 3-4 answers. Okay? Now let's look at what we are trying to do. So again, I would not get biased by anybody. So there's another statement that I keep on making, and that is I don't trust anybody. When I say I don't trust anybody, what it means is I don't trust anybody when it comes to solving a problem. Meaning, if somebody has solved a problem and has given an answer, there's an obvious human tendency that we'll get biased. Oh, probably this is the answer, because somebody has already solved. What if that person has done it wrong and 5 people imitate him or her? Everybody goes wrong. So when it's a math problem, I will always try doing it myself. Now let me do it myself the same way. What I was bragging about. Read the question a couple of times. So the question was, I have read it so many times that okay, say which of the below expression is equivalent to 7k minus the product of k plus 1 and 2k plus 2. Yes, Sev. Yes, Shiv, what is your answer? Shiv, you have to unmute yourself. You are talking to the mute button, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the answer that I got what do you call A because I
Okay.
got A, which is 2k squared plus 2 minus 2.
Okay. All right. So now I'm kind of like I keep poking holes in your everybody's brain. I'm right now poking holes in my own brain. So I'm trying to solve this problem in the way I would do it, or I would want you guys to think, right? Aligning with this whole theory. So reading the question. So I've read the question so many times, right? I don't have a very strong memory, but just because I read it so many times, I memorized it kind of. Which of the following expression is equivalent to 7k minus product of k plus 1 and 2k plus 2. So 7k minus product of k plus 1 and 2k plus 2. So I can always do that the very simple way, which I prefer always, and this is 7k minus k plus 1 into 2k plus 2. So I will put the middle bracket here and curly bracket here, and then I'll do k times this and this times this, and I'll get some value. Okay, so this becomes 2k square. Okay, let me not jump the gun. So this becomes k into 2k squared plus k into 2, 2k plus 1 into 2k is 2k plus 1 into 2 is 2, and that became 7k minus 2k squared, 2k plus 2k, 4k plus 2, and when I break this bracket open, it becomes 7k minus 2k squared minus 4k minus 2. So minus 2k squared. So what we see is we have this value. Okay. Now I'll tell you guys some tricks that we'll talk about. So minus 2k squared, 7k plus and minus 4k becomes minus 3k and minus 2. This will be the most orthodox method that anybody would want to follow if you are sticking to the basics. But now here there is a rat race. Everybody is trying to compete against time. You are not competing with anybody. You are competing against time because you have limited time in the exam. You have to find out opportunity to save each and every second that you can without going wrong. And this is what we'll do. So if I do this way, I will probably end up spending a little more time. So there are a couple of tricks that you'll have to apply. One is the trick called elimination technique. Once you came to this point, you don't have to do subtraction, and you already found that okay, my constant is minus 2. Out of all the 4 options that you have, you immediately saw that okay, I will rule out these 2 guys because these 2 are giving me plus. So at this point itself, you realize that okay, these 2 options are not there. And then you had minus 2k squared. See, your k squared is minus. Out of the 2 options that you are left with, only this one holds true. You don't have to do the last step. You can knock it off right away. Or without going this far, going the all 4 steps. Okay, before I go to the next trick. So what we did was, without doing this calculation for the last step, as soon as we came to this point, we know okay, we have constant as minus 2, these 2 options ruled out, and my k square is minus sign. This one is also ruled out. This is my option. So this is called the trick elimination technique. You may or may not have to solve the entire problem to get the exact value and then match it. Ultimately, you have to rule out 3 options. You have only one right. So by skipping the last step, you could eliminate that. Now, do I have to go this far? Probably not. Now look at this. This is what you are trying to solve. This is where we are. Okay? Now, without doing any calculation, if you are just thinking in your mind, okay, what will I get is 1 and 2. That will be my constant term, 1 into 2, 2, and that will be a minus. Okay, so plus thing is ruled out. This is where you stopped. Now, here, the k square term, okay, so you can do all the calculation here itself and say, okay, fine, the options are gone. Now I'm left with these two. And then between the two also, you see that, okay, whatever you do, everything becomes a negative. Meaning your k squared term is going to become negative. Why do you need to even bother about this option? Without doing anything, just by reading the question and after writing down what the question was saying, when you think about it, when you read the question a couple of times and when you are analyzing it, just by analyzing, you figure out that, okay, my last term, the constant term is going to be negative, all the positives are gone, and my k squared term is also going to be negative because whole thing will translate into a positive thing. A polynomial with all positives, and then that's getting multiplied by negative. So my k square is going to be negative. Why do I have to waste time here? So you could literally eliminate the 4 steps of Nike by doing thorough analysis. And this is still aligning with the technique of elimination. And this is a very powerful technique that you guys have to keep on exploring, keep on practicing, because this will save you 2 minutes. You might think 2 minutes is nothing. I don't care. Trust me, this becomes worthy than gold. When you have 5 problems to solve in an exam, you still have 5 problems left to be solved, and you have only 12 minutes left. And that is when you start thinking, okay, I wish I had 5 more minutes. And that 5 minutes will come from all the techniques that you applied in other problems that you are doing. So there are 2 parts to it. Solve the problem and solve the problem with the minimal effort in the most intelligent way to save time, which will help you improve your score and not get stressed out. Because what happens is, when you realize, when you're almost done with your exam, you have only 20 minutes left and you still realize, then you realize, okay, I have 10 more questions, and then you do a calculation, oh, every question 2 minutes, no, I'm not making it. And then eventually what will happen is, in those 20 minutes, even if you were able to solve 5 problems, because of stress, you will make 2 more problems go wrong. So this is where this trick will help. Is it making sense? Okay. So all the people who post their posts on social media, they'll look for likes, subscribers, and all those things, right? So here I'm not waiting for likes because this doesn't get recorded, but then I'm just trying to make sure that you guys are able to relate to what I'm saying right now. Yeah, and if you relate, then you'll be able to practice. Is everybody with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Varun,
Yes.
Tanu,
Yes, sir.
Praneet, Om, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I can only see Om, so if Om is clear about what I'm saying, I can read his face and make out whether am I blabbering or am I able to kind of explain things. For everybody else, since I'm not able to see your face, I have to rely on what you say, okay? Alright, so this is another problem that we looked at. And problem was not difficult. The most interesting part that we were trying to explore was, how do we make it a more intelligent solution approach to get the right answer and save enough time for future problems that might come back haunting us. Okay, so now with whatever we did with these 2 problems, I am giving you guys another problem, and I want you guys to tailor your approach a little bit to see if whatever we discuss, that you are able to apply partially. X minus 4 times x minus 8. Which of the following is equivalent to the given expression? The options we have is x square minus 12x plus 32, 2x square plus 4x plus 32. C is x square plus 4x minus 12. D is 2x square minus 12x plus 32. Okay. So polynomials that we were trying to multiply is x minus 4 into x minus 8. X minus 4 into x minus 8. And there are the four options we have. A is x square minus 12x plus 32, 2x square plus 4x plus 32, x square plus 4x minus 12, 2x square minus 12x plus 32. Now these are four options. Now one thing that is completely prohibited right now is nobody will solve it. Okay? I want you guys to just think about it. Read the question, think about it, and tell me how would you eliminate the unwanted options and get to the right answer without doing any calculation. So Praneeth, you just tell me the answer and I'll come to the elimination part, the solution, the approach part once I hear some more of the case. What is your option, beta?
A.
A, okay. Others don't trust Praneeth, make your own judgment. A. Om also A. Okay. Got 2 votes for A. Okay. Yes, Priya.
I say A too.
A. One more vote. This is going to be undisputed selection, it seems. Okay, let's see. Dhanvin. Dhanushri. Purvi.
I got A too.
You also got A. This is going to be a clean sweep. Okay.
I also got A.
Oh man. That is getting interesting. Okay. Too many A's. All 4, 5 A's. 6 A's probably.
My answer was also A.
Bad. Chris also is saying A. So now it looks to be a majority. Shiv, how about you? Tansi,
I got
you also got A. Shiv also got A. How about Thanu and Purvi and Varun?
I'm like
I got A too.
between A and C.
You're thinking between A and C.
Yeah.
That is a good sign. Good sign as in you are contemplating between the options and there's something going on in your mind as an alternate path. And that's a very right approach also. Okay? Because you always have to counter think. You will think about one option and then you counter think, okay, what could be the thing that I'm missing here? So that's what is making you think that it could be between A and C, and we'll eliminate. We'll come to that. Okay. Anybody? Last call.
Sir, I got A as well.
You also got A?
I have fallen.
Sorry, Shiv, go ahead. No, you complete your sentence. I could not hear you.
I have fallen to the A's.
Okay, your vote is also for A. Okay. Now I will randomly pick one of you to tell me how would you solve it without solving it. So, how about, no, let me pick. I want to get very creative. And I have no thought process behind that, okay? It's going to be random picking. How about Om? Can you tell me what went in your mind to come to A?
So first I multiplied -4 and -8 to get 32, which would make the last constant. And then I did -4 minus -8, which is -12, which would get the second term.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's one thought. Okay, yep. Dhanvin, okay, you had raised your hand. Let's see what Dhanvin has to say.
That was my process too.
Okay. So look at this. This is exactly what everybody would have done, right? So that's why I'm not asking each one of you one by one. First thing is, when you are multiplying, one constant you will get, and that will be a multiplication of -4 and -8. And that will be plus 32. So just by looking at this number, you could kill this guy. C is out of question, right? Because again, we don't have to solve this problem, but the way it's solved is x into x minus 8 minus 4 into x minus 8. So basically you know that, okay, when you are multiplying the last term, you'll get a 32. So that's why when you don't have the last term as 32, that is not the valid option that you would want to eliminate. So this one is gone. Now the next thing you will look at is, okay, so when I'm multiplying minus 4 with x, I get a minus 4x. When I'm multiplying x with minus 8, I'm getting a minus 8x. So I'm getting minus 12x. So my x is going to be minus 12. See, there are two scenarios when I'll get a x, with only power of x equal to 1. This is 1 and this is the second one. This one is going to give me, oops, sorry, my bad. This is the second one. So this one gives me minus 8x and this one gives me minus 4x. So it's going to be minus 12x. So if I'm looking at minus 12x and 32, this and this are the two options. This one is ruled out now. Between these two, now you know that, okay, x is only going to be multiplied by itself, that is going to result into x squared. So between a and b, if I have to choose, this one is not an option because I'm not going to get 2x squared. I'm going to get x squared only in this case when I'm multiplying these two guys. These two guys, that is getting me x squared only. There is no second x squared that I'm going to get. So that's why the fourth option is also eliminated. So while I was trying to explain this, I might have taken 2 minutes. But when you will think in your mind and do it, it's okay, fine. 32, this one is gone. Minus 4x minus 8x minus 12x. So this is gone. Now I have these two. I know, okay, I'm not going to get x squared. I'm not going to get 2x squared. I'm going to get only x squared. Okay, this is my option. So this thought process, when you are analyzing it, it will not take 130 seconds or maybe 45 seconds. I probably took 2 minutes because I was trying to explain, or I was trying to make you guys read my mind, because I don't know if any of you have a drilling machine to poke hole into my mind, right? So this will be really, so basically when you're looking at a multiple choice questions, I'm not saying that every multiple choice question you can make a judgment. There will be 80% of the problem that will need you to do some calculation around it. But there are still 20% of the problems that you can do by making a right judgment, by using these techniques for to solve it quickly. And all for those 20% of the problem, the time that you save, even if that is 10 minutes, trust me, every minute is going to feel like $1 million to you guys in the exam. So if you are saving 10 minutes, you are saving $10 million. You'll be filthy rich by the time you finish the exam. Yeah? Alright? Okay, let's move on. So, is this part okay so far?
Yeah.
Everybody able to relate to what I'm blabbering?
Yes.
Am I blabbering? So kids are innocent, right? So are you guys. So I said, everybody okay with whatever I'm blabbering? He said yes. So that affirmed that I'm blabbering. But if the blabbering is interesting, let's continue with that. So let's look at another problem. And this time I'm going to deal with a little more interesting and more complex problem. Let's see what is that going to be. So I have a problem that might become your problem. Let's see. I have 6x squared plus 5x by 3x plus 1. I'm just thinking that shall I jump to this question right away or shall I give you guys a little bit of think time? Okay, no, so I will not solve this problem right now. This is with a different topic, that is on rational expressions. Okay, so far we talked about polynomial expression and we talked about how do we deal with, what is polynomial expression, how do we break it down, how do we deal with adding, subtracting, multiplication of polynomial expressions. Now we are going to talk about, when you talk about operations, right, add, subtract, multiply, that's what we talk about. But how about division? Dividing polynomial expressions. So if I have 4x squared minus 9x plus 7, this is one polynomial expression. I'm trying to divide that by this, let's say. This division is given a different name, saying they are calling it rational expression. Instead of saying division of polynomial expression, we are calling it by different name. This is rational expression. Why? Because you have expression here, and that is in the form of a rational number. What is a rational number? Something that can be represented as a fraction. So that's why it's called rational expression. Okay. So when you look at any rational expression for that matter, the first thing that should come to your mind is, okay, it's an expression where I have an expression, it's an expression in the form of a rational number where we have an expression as a numerator and expression as a denominator, which is a classic example of you are trying to divide one expression with another expression, one polynomial by another polynomial or monomial, whatever it be. Okay, so it's a when you look at just a rational expression, it's nothing but a classic case of where you are trying to divide a polynomial by a polynomial or monomial, basically. Yeah. Is that okay so far? Is that okay from understanding point of view?
Yes.
Now let's look at one of the scenarios real quick and see how do we relate to it. We might not be able to do a lot of problems with the time that we are left with, but at least we should be able to wrap our head around this one to see what we are heading towards. Let's look at one example. Okay. It is saying 3 divided by x squared plus 5x minus 24 minus 7 by x minus 3. And I request you guys not to try solving it. Okay. This is one of the questions that I have, and says which expression is equivalent to the above difference, meaning this is your one rational expression where you have expression as the denominator, this is a scalar number, that's okay, that's scalar quantity. Similarly, you have another rational expression where you have a scalar number here and a polynomial as the denominator. The question is, how do you find out, the question is which of the following options is equivalent to this expression or equivalent to the difference above. So this is one rational expression, this is another rational expression. What is the difference of this? And you have to find out the option. Choose the right option for this one. We are not trying to solve it. Okay. What we are trying to do is, I'll make sure that I get each one of you equally frustrated as Praneeth, because he has heard me say this so many times that he starts laughing or he starts scratching his head. Right, Praneeth? Praneeth is the one who has been with me for the longest time so far. So that's why I keep calling out his name. Some of you, even Praneeth and Dhanushri, these two have been with me for quite some time now. And everybody else is clocking hours. Okay, so now, here, when I have a situation like this, in the first go, when you look at the problem like this, it will not be very pleasing experience, okay? It will not be very pleasant experience rather. But then, you have to always look at how do I approach this kind of problem? What I know versus what I don't. Right? So, if you have to deal with a problem like this, what are the things, you will do to break it down, at least from an approach point of view? What will you do? If I were you, I will say, fine, this is a rational expression, understood? So basically it's going to be as simple as adding two fractions. This is one fraction, this is another fraction. Correct? That will be my first thing. Okay. Now within this fraction also, I have a quadratic equation here can I factorize this into something like this? Can I factorize this? And if any of the factor matches with this guy, my job will become much easier. So you have to think like, okay, now I have this guy, and this quality equation, if I if I'm able to factorize this, and one of the factor matches with this one, then that will be, imagine this, okay? If this becomes 3 by, let's say, x minus 3, I'm just making it up, into 4x or x minus x plus 8, let's say, okay? I'm just making it up. I might be wrong also. I'm pretty close to being right, but I'm just making it up. And then minus 7 by x minus 3. Now if you look at this, if this becomes like this, I have this thing common. So if I have to find out the LCM of the denominators, it's going to be x minus 3 into x plus 8. And in this case, I will multiply this guy, I'll keep this guy because the whole thing is there. And minus 7 into this part is there, only this part is not there. That will be an easy ride for us. So for solving this kind of problem, first thing is, okay, it's like a fraction subtraction. We know how to do it. We have to find out the LCM, then go ahead. But here this is a quadratic equation and this is just a normal polynomial. So if I am able to factorize this and find something common, my job will be much easier and much quicker, right? So if you are able to structure your thoughts, that fine, this is easy peasy, this is a fraction subtraction. If I am able to break this down, it will be easy. So your entire energy will go for breaking this down, factorizing this one. As long as we know how to factorize a quadratic equation, and if you are able to break it down, you will not have any problem. Okay? So we have learned about how to do, how to deal with quadratic equation, how do we factorize them and all. I'm sure most of you would be knowing it. We'll anyways deal with that also when we do more problems in the coming class, because rational expressions, polynomial expressions, operation with rational expression, and all these are very cryptic sounding terms. We are like normal human beings who are very comfortable with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentage calculation. But when somebody uses some of those cryptic terms, it actually, in the beginning, it gets us a little scared. So our job is to always see how do we simplify it, make it simple. Polynomial expression, now with the most stupid example that I gave you guys, every time you come across polynomial expression, first thing that will flash in your mind is an old man smiling face, say, okay, see, if I'm just showing my expression, doing nothing, that is what is expression. There is no outcome, there is no equal to sign. And you'll be able to relate it, right? Sometimes bad jokes are also good. It might work. Okay? So we'll keep at looking at opportunities to simplify things, and then we'll deal with more problems in the coming class, so that you guys become more and more comfortable with what we have learned today, or what we have started to do a recap of what we knew already. Okay? With that being said, I will let you guys go. It's already top of the hour, and thanks for being with me so very late. I know this adjustment I had to do because of some personal dependency, but hopefully I did not disappoint most of you. Yep. All right. Thank you, everybody. Take some rest. See you guys day after tomorrow.
Thank you,
Bye
Jordan.
bye. Bye bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Bye bye. Bye bye. Good night. Bye bye. Good night.